Good morning, Scott. How are you today?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Another dreary day in Columbus, Ohio, but we live here, so we'll have to deal with it.
That's right. Could be worse.
Well, I appreciate your time. I know you're busy. I just wanted to ask a couple questions, might help some readers or listeners out here. Tell me about your career background. I'm sure you hear this all the time. And how did you even get into IT? And then how did you get in a leadership position?
So that's interesting. How did I even get into IT? So I went to just a liberal arts college. It was a small Christian college up in northern Indiana. Going to be this engineer. Didn't know what that meant. Took a chemistry class because that's what I was supposed to do. Take this chemistry class and take math classes. Went to this chemistry class. Thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to die. And this was just
so 101. Yeah.
Well, it was horrible. So I dropped the class immediately that I'm not going to live this way. And I took an intro to computers class. I got in the class and it just clicked. It was like, this is the way I think. This is the way I process. This is me. And so it's almost like computers chose me. And I started out in the programming world. So I started out programming COBOL back in 1984. So it really, technology chose me because that fits so well with my personality and my strengths and how I think in process, how I think in boxes, those types of things. So that's how I got into IT. So I started out, did probably 10 years of programming, did a lot of that, started back with NCR back in 84, did 20 years with them, went everywhere from COBOL programming, just up to project management, database, just got a wide breadth of experience while I was there. After 20 years, moved in, through my 20 years, I started moving towards the infrastructure space. More focusing on the hardware side and operating systems, things like that. And then my next couple of jobs were around director roles of the infrastructure space, or just playing that role. The last position was kind of over all of IT. It was a smaller startup company. And then during that time, I also went back when I was 56 and got my master's at Wright State University, an MIS degree, which you're never too old to go back and learn. So I decided to do that. And then earlier this year, I was able to start with NetJet as the VP of Infrastructure Services and Operations.
Wow, what a ride, right? I mean, we get into industries when we don't even know that we want to get into industries. So that's a great story. And to hear how you've progressed from programming COBOL to now being the CIO of NetJet is a pretty amazing story.
Correction, not the CIO of NetJet, Vice President of Infrastructure Services and Operations.
Okay.
So I'm one aspect, not the CIO. Don't put me there.
I stand corrected. I was misinformed. Okay, so thank you for that. So everybody during COVID has had a shift in perspective with realization to one area, right? Whether it be personally or professionally due to COVID, what do you think yours is?
Facts are precious. Getting true facts, right? I've seen the last 2 years, you can find something or someone to support what you want it to support, right?
In everything, sure.
In everything. And being a math major in college, I learned that numbers lie. You can make a number be whatever you want it to be. And I think it's important that in technology, you've got to deal with the facts, whether facts about a product, about a vendor, about what's really happening with an issue you're dealing with. That's what we've got to drive to. We've got to drive to what is an unbiased fact. And I see in the outside of the work world, you can look at anything and like I said, you can support any view you want. But what are the real facts? And getting to those are hard. And who do you trust? Who do you not trust? That's true in every aspect of our lives. And it pulls right into the work world that you've got to deal with facts. And even if you do, it's not going to matter. Someone's going to be upset because they have their own set of facts.
Sure. Sure. It's funny. We were talking earlier about our kids, right? My kids are so narrow-minded. They hear something as fact in life. And I'm like, there is another side to everything. And if you open your mind and at least say, okay, I can veer off my status somewhat, and you might change your perspective based on what you've gained from the other side. So yeah, it definitely in business, right? The better the facts, the stronger the facts, the better you are from a business perspective.